Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James and this is Astro Motivation, where I awaken the astrologer within you and aim to give you a little inspiration and motivation per your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and I this and I that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly where our dreams were and how to get them. And so if that sounds good to you, let's get into it. Today we're gonna get into a technique that I hold near and dear to my heart as an astrologer, and that is tracing the lords through the houses. And today we're going to get into the fourth lord through the different houses. If you haven't checked out my other videos on this, go ahead and check it out, because I've gone through the first, the second, and now the third, and then now the fourth, and each one is very comprehensive to get a deeper layer of the meanings and revelations that can be revealed through the chart, okay? This specific video with fourth lord through the houses will show how you will interact with your mother, who your mother was. You know, if I ever want to see within a birth chart who a person's mother was and what the vibe and the atmosphere of your upbringing in your household was, not only do I look at the fourth house, but I look at the lord of the fourth house and I trace it through the birth chart, and that will give me a deeper understanding of what you could be experiencing from your upbringing in your childhood. And also it gives me a deeper layer into who your mother was. You know, was she friendly? Was she social? Was she just gone and absent? These things can be revealed through tracing the fourth lord through the houses. This also shows how you in your private life, how your home will be governed, okay? How you will get through life and do things as far as the stability nature within your home. You know, you as an adult, if you are an adult watching this, how does your private life, what's the vibe of that, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So with the fourth lord in the first house, the fourth lord in the first house is going to show me that the relationship between you and your mother may have been a little bit combative. There may have been power struggles, but there also could have been a very big focus on, you know, your appearance. You know, your mother probably wanted you to look a certain way. Now, depending on what your sign on the first house will be, this will tell me the relationship, and this will tell me maybe the appearance style in which your mother may have wanted you to present. And this could also show me that your mother was probably someone who was probably a tad bit selfish. And then there's other instances where she was probably hyper focused on you. You know, what it could be for good or for bad. Again, the sign on the first house will tell me that, but usually there's a focus on you and your appearance, and you guys could have had a lot of power struggles because of that, a lot of combativeness because of that, a lot of competition because of that, and those things can play out with fourth lord in the first house. Now, with fourth lord in the first house, you will also see that this person will probably most feel like themselves when they are at home. You in your adult life, you will feel like you're most yourself when you are at home. You probably show up the most at home. This gives me very much like housewife vibes, because a housewife is who they are the most when they are at home. You know, they're in control, they're a leader when they are at home. You in your childhood could have also been somewhat of kind of like a leader in your household. You were the person that was probably a little selfish. You could have been a leader, but because the first house is ruled by Aries, you know, no matter what the sign on your first house may be, and I do want to know that sign, know that Aries is ruling that house. So you're going to take on Aries qualities within that fourth house. You know, you're going to take on Aries qualities within that fourth house meaning. And so from there, you would assume and intuit that you could have been a leader, or there could have been a lot of power struggles within the home that you grew up in, and now in your private life, it's kind of the same way. Like, you probably find that there's a lot of energy, you're probably busy a lot in your private life. Like, you probably feel that you can't sit down for too long. You're probably off doing something, you're off doing this, you're off doing that, you're here, you're there, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, there's a lot of energy because Aries is fire, you know. So when fourth lord goes into the first house, you could find that there's a lot of energy in your private life. You're doing a lot of things. And this is what I mean outside of your job. You know, outside of work, this is the flavor that I'm talking about, is that when you clock out of work, you're still busy. You're doing this, you're going for a run, you're washing clothes, you're going to the gym, you come back, you're cleaning dishes, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then before you know it, you got to go to work. It's like, there's a lot of fiery energy in that, okay? So that's what you could be experiencing with fourth lord in the first house. If you have this placement, let me know the sign that and the house lord that's, you know, matching with this, and I will write back to you what you could be experiencing with this placement, okay? But I really do hope that that helped you. Moving forward, with the fourth lord going into the second house, this is gonna make for someone whose mother probably taught them a lot of the values that they hold true to themselves. Your mother could have been somewhat of a very stable person, a very stable figure in your life. She's someone that you can depend on. She was also someone that could be beautiful, luxurious. You know, you probably came from a very beautiful, luxurious, wealthy home. There's a lot of money probably in the home and within the assets that you have in your childhood home, okay? Your mother could be a source of monetary gain, or she helps you out from time to time. You know, this feeds into that stable factor that I'm talking about. You know, stability, she could be stable emotionally, physically, or monetarily, your mother. And the home that you grew up in was probably very wealthy or very stable, all right? This shows that also your mother was very responsible for the values that you hold true to yourself. And now in your adult life, you probably carry on those teachings and those values, and you, in your now private life, you probably live in nice homes. You probably have a nice home. You probably have a lot of assets that are worth a lot of money within your home. And if you don't, then it just means that you still are blessed with a very stable home life environment. There's not a lot of ups and downs within your life. And this also shows, depending on the sign that's there, that you probably will be someone that is never without a home, okay? So that is what you could be experiencing with fourth lord going to the second house. Now let me know what the lord is and what that planet and what those signs are that is going into the fourth lord in the second house, and I'll write back to you what you could be experiencing with that placement. But this is a very blessed placement for anyone who will be blessed with a stable home environment and a stable motherly figure. This can vary and change depending on the sign and the planet, but let me know what those are and I'll let you know exactly what you could be experiencing with that planet, okay? I will say that a lot of money is in your homes. You know, this is someone who could literally like become a millionaire just from inheriting the family home, or the mother leaves them the home and they become a millionaire through that. Or if anything were to go wrong, you just need to go in your closet and sell a couple things and you'll be fine, you know? So this is what you could be experiencing with fourth lord going into the second house. Now, moving forward, fourth lord going into the third house, this is gonna be someone that grew up in a very busy and chatty home, okay? Your mother was also probably very busy, social, and chatty with you. You valued communication. Your mother was probably the person that was always telling you, hey baby, what's wrong? Like, tell me what's wrong. I wanna know your feelings. I wanna know what's going on. And the way that you related with each other, the way that she nurtured you was through her communication towards you, okay? Your mother could have also felt like a sibling to you because of that nature, because she wanted you to be so open and so just boisterous with her and just like forthcoming with her. It may have taken on a very sibling-like vibe, all right? This could be someone also who in your adult life, you like to have people over. You could love to hold like social gatherings and you love to have friends over. This could be the vibe of even growing up, and now in your adult life, you find that your house was the community house that everyone on the block would come to for dinner, or these are the people whose parents threw parties a lot and things like that, and they would host a lot of people and a lot of social gatherings within their home when you have fourth lord in the third house. And you find in your adult life that you are kind of somewhat the same way. You love to have dinner parties at your home. You love to have people over and just be social at home. Now with fourth lord in the third house, there is also energy of like, for you in your private life as an adult, you could find that you're very busy outside of work. Even though your job is busy, you find that outside of your job, you're still busy. You got chores to do, you got this to do, you got that to do, you're going here, you're going there, and you could probably be busy with social things, okay? You are someone that grew up being able to express yourself and really being able to voice what is wrong or what you feel, okay? Because your mother treated you this way. And depending on the sign that the fourth lord and third house is going into, this will vary and change and take on different flavors and tones, and I do want to know what that sign is and what those planets are, because it will, you know, this is a framework and it'll kind of tell me exactly what's going on at a little bit more of a microscopic detail. But I do know that for you, when you have fourth lord in the third house, you will find that you in your adult life are very busy, and you could also find that your homes change a lot. Like you go through a lot of apartments. Maybe you're moving every year. Maybe every year you do away with a lease and you sign another lease elsewhere. Like it's like a lot of changeability and a lot of movement and a lot of energy within your home life, especially as far as being social, and a lot of movement within your chores and what you're doing in your private life, okay? You could, with fourth lord in the third house, you could also be someone that is very chatty with your neighbors, okay? You love to talk to your neighbors and see what's going on within the community. You love to involve yourself in the community, because this is where you probably feel your safest, is knowing who's next to you, knowing your neighbors, knowing, oh, okay, I know that person and I know that person, and that person lives in AB3 and that person lives in 45A. Like it just makes you feel safer, and it makes you feel at home when you are able to communicate with your neighbors and be chatty and be like almost like a pillar within your community, is something that you will probably aim for in certain instances, okay? With fourth lord in third house, you could probably be someone that has your home, you share your home with your siblings. You know, you could have your siblings over, or you could roommate with your siblings, things like that. Let me know if this resonates with you, and also let me know what the sign and the planet that the fourth lord in the third house is going into, and I will let you know what exactly you could be experiencing with this placement. But this is a placement for someone who had a mother that almost felt like a sibling, and if not, your mother was someone who was very social, busy, and chatty, and wanted you to be the same way, okay? I really do hope that that helped you. Moving forward, with the fourth lord going into the fourth house, this is a very, very blessed placement, okay? This is the placement for someone who had a very good mother, you know? Now, depending on the sign that was there, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter what sign is there. This is when you have fourth lord in the fourth house, this usually shows that you have a very big connection and a very harmonious connection to your home, your family, and your mother, all right? You probably come from a big family. You probably had a very big household. You are someone that is very attached to the homes that you live in, okay? You are your home. It's like a turtle with your shell. Your shell is your home, and you are the turtle, and without a home, you don't quite feel like yourself, because this is the foundation of really who you are. And when you have fourth lord in the fourth house, this could show that your mother probably had a lot of children, or your mother was just very attentive to you and just was the mother of all mothers. You know, you have a great connection with your mother, whether for good or for bad. You know, there's just a very solid connection there, okay? And I don't really, it's a very rare case where I would see fourth lord in the fourth house having a bad connection with the mother. You know, intense, sure. Annoying, sure. Triggering, sure. But those feelings come from, there's a deep, deep love there. There's a deep, deep bond and a deep connection there, okay? Usually that's what happens when you have fourth lord in the fourth house. I can't stress enough how blessed this placement is because this person will never be homeless. This person who has fourth lord in the fourth house, you will never be homeless. You will always find that no matter what happens in your life, you will have a home to stay in, because the fourth house rules the home, okay? Fourth house is ruled by Cancer, okay? And so Cancer rules the home. The fourth lord rules the home that you live in when you are an adult. And with that being said, if you have fourth lord in the fourth house, you will be someone that's never homeless. You will always find that either someone wants to take you in, someone wants to, you know, hey, actually I have a couch over here. Even if it comes to that, it probably won't even come to that, because in your life you'll be very blessed with being able to acquire homes, live in homes, and you will always have somewhere and a roof over your head with this placement, okay? I would really love to see the sign and the house that your fourth lord in the fourth house is going into, and I will write back to you what you could be experiencing with that fourth lord in the fourth house placement. So whenever you have matching placements like that, like fourth lord in the fourth, or third in the third, or second in the second, you will find that you are very blessed with that energy, and the house lord being in its respective house means that you will be very lucky and very blessed, and all the good things and all the good vibes that come along with the themes of that house, like your mother, your private life, your emotional nature, your home, you will find that you have a good handle on those things. You will have a very good emotional nature about yourself. You will find that you also probably love your alone time at home. Like, you are someone that you don't mind being alone at home. Like, you just feel safe. Your home is your sanctuary, and you will be blessed with nice big homes or a nice place to stay. You will simply, at the lowest form of this energy, you will always have a roof over your head. But I do know that you've come from a big home, you come from a stable home, a stable mother, a mother that had a lot of children, a mother that was attentive to you and your needs. And if you ever needed anything, you could call your mother, and your mother would make you feel better or support you in whatever way you needed, okay? So this is a very blessed placement. Lucky you. Let me know those placements, and I'll write back to you what you'd be experiencing. But I really do hope that this helped you, okay? All right, bye. With fourth lord in the fifth house, this is gonna show that you came from a home that, you know, really allowed you, your mother really allowed you, or may have fostered in you being very talented or showing off your talents. These are the mothers that would call you in and say, hey, you such and such, while there would be people over that would want you to show off your talents. Hey, Billy, hey, Sarah, come in here. Show my friends what you learned. Show them that talent that you have. You know, it's like that, like where the mother would have wanted to foster you and allow you to show off your talents and your gifts, and was treated you with a big shining light over you. She would probably tell you you were the best. She would tell you you were someone that was special. She would want you to go out and really just be expressive within yourself. Fourth lord going into the fifth house is going to be, the fifth house is a Leo house, okay? So your mother, again, would have really taken care and protected that inner child in you and wanted you to express yourself at the fullest expression. She was someone that did not want you to be shy or unconfident, or someone that didn't want you to like show off your gifts and capabilities. She really wanted to foster that in you. And these are like, you know, these are my momagers. Your mom was almost kind of like gave you momager vibes, or you know, child actor vibes, where your mom wanted you to be in this class and that class with the sole purpose of just showing your gifts, your capabilities, your intelligence, and your smarts. You know, like, this is that placement. So you probably had a mom who was also like that, who would probably get a lot of attention when she went out, who was probably very talented and creative in her own right, and through that she wanted you to be the same way, okay? With fourth lord in the fifth house, you will find that you attract a lot of partners at home or around your home or in neighborhoods. You probably want to have dates in your home, okay? You will probably meet partners at their homes, okay? Something around home, there's a big connection between home and your dating life when it comes to you, all right? You love to invite people over maybe for Netflix and chill, if that's your vibe, you know? You love to have things at home. You love to date people at home. Hey, just come over to my place. Like, can you pick me up at my place? And then you guys probably don't even leave to go to the date that you guys are gonna go to outside. But you could be very creative with your homes. You could express yourself a lot through your home, okay? Your home is an extension of your creation, and you probably are very creative and have very nice, elaborate homes, okay? Homes that are very show-stopping, homes that are very just like, pow, wow. Remember, fourth house is the house of your home and your mother, and fifth house is the house of Leo. So there's gonna be like a Leo, electric, buzzy, spotlight, attention-seeking energy on your homes, okay? That's what this is gonna be, is that there is something about the homes that you live in, that you grew up in. You probably grew up in a very nice home. You probably grew up in a home that you have to this day probably very happy feelings about. And you know, this can vary and change depending on the sign that your fifth house is in. And I would really love to know what that sign and what that planet is. Write down in the comments below what that sign and planet that is going into from the fourth lord to the fifth house. Let me know what that is, and I'll write back to you. But you will find that that is the flavor of the fourth lord in the fifth house, is that there's a Leo type of energy around your homes. You grew up in big, nice homes, or you grew up in homes that got a lot of attention. There was a lot of fun that was happening in your home. There was a lot of creativity that was happening in your home. There was just a lot of good vibes happening in your home. And your mother, again, was like, I just think of the Thank You Next. You know the Thank You Next video with Ariana Grande, where she's holding the camera and she's like, get it, baby, that's your mom. Is like, she just wanted to film everything. She probably wanted to take a lot of pictures of you. She probably wanted anything that you did. She wanted to, you know, hang your achievements on the wall. She was just very proud of you from the jump, okay? You popped out of the womb and she was, oh my God, like his first step, her first step, like it's just very that. Like your mother was very proud and always wanted to boost you up and boost your confidence and egg you on to show off your talents, gifts, and capabilities, all right? So this is a very good placement. It's a very fun placement, okay? I would be very surprised if you were someone that grew up and your mother didn't allow you to play the piano or do karate or go to ballet or express a talent that was unique and inherent to you, because whatever talent your mom probably saw in you, she probably wanted you to do it to the nth degree and probably put you in all types of classes to do it. And this is also something now in your adult life that you probably carry on. You are probably someone that's very creative in your home. You probably paint inside of your home. You probably are someone that anything you do, you just are very artistic and creative at home, and your biggest, boldest, expressive self comes out at home, okay? And you express yourself through your home, whether it be through your furniture or the accessories that you have. The things you put in your home is very show-stopping and like it's attention grabbing, and it's just very like you love to have fun. You may love to have a lot of parties and celebrations at your home. Like I can't express enough how fun this placement is, because you're putting the sun in the fourth lord is going into the 5th house. So it's like, it's just a lot of good things. The sun is a good planet, so a lot of good vibes are happening with your homes in your adult life, and the childhood you grew up in was very happy, good vibes, okay? It was all about you and your talents and your creativity, all right? I really do hope that that helped you. Let me know what those signs and those planets are for the 4th lord going into the 5th house, and I'll let you know what you could be experiencing, all right? Bye. With 4th lord going into the 6th house, this is gonna make for someone who a lot of their day is centered around their day-to-day routines and schedules and fitness, okay? You could be someone that you have so many duties when it comes to your home. You could be working from home. A lot of your service that you do is from home. This could be for my real estate agents. These could be for my at-home workers. These could be for my people who work from home, okay? This is a placement for someone who does a lot of their work, a lot of their day-to-day routine schedules, diets, and fitness is in their home, okay? You could also be someone that is emotionally attached to your home, as far as like you getting up, cleaning, and things have to be perfect, things have to be meticulous. Like you are almost at an OCD level when it comes to your home. You probably serve others from your home, okay? I've seen people with this placement where they hold like a soup kitchen to the community through their home, okay? Like things like that. You probably are also someone that could be a massage therapist, and you bring clients to your home, or you go to other people's homes and you do massage therapy in the comfort of people's homes, okay? Because the 4th house is the house of your home, okay? And the 6th house is the house of your work. And it's also the house of your day-to-day schedules and routines. And when you merge those two things together, aside from the signs that are on each of those houses, you could intuit that this is going to be someone who works from home, or there's going to be a lot of duties, a lot of work, and a lot of servitude from their homes or within their homes, okay? You could also be someone that growing up, your mother was someone almost like a military mom, you know, very practical. You probably grew up in a home where you had to wake up early, you had to clean, you had chores to do, you had this to do, you had that to do, and your mother was probably very, very meticulous. She was probably someone who wanted perfection within her home. She was someone that was like, you don't sleep in, we get up at this hour, you do this, you do this, you do this, you go out, you do this, and you come back, you do this. Like she was very by the book, by the schedule, and if you deviated from that schedule, if you got up and didn't make your bed, if you were someone that was trying to be dirty or uncleanly or just like not following that schedule to a T, all hell would break loose. It's like your mother ran a tight ship, and she was someone that served the household in a very practical way. She wanted to serve the household through being able to serve you guys and like you and the family, and be very meticulous and clean everything, and like she would just serve your needs, okay? Like I don't really know about the emotional needs. I would say probably not. Your mother was someone that was probably not very emotional with you, but she did kind of like relate with you through you doing what she saw fit as far as chores and being like a model citizen. The sixth house is ruled by Virgo, okay? No matter what the sign on your sixth house is, know that the sixth house is ruled by Virgo. So Virgo qualities are gonna be within your mother or in the house that you grew up in, okay? There's gonna be a Virgo edge, a Virgo flair to the way you grew up. And Virgo means, you know, perfection, diet, routine, cleanliness, servitude, work. And so there's going to be a lot of that energy within the home that you grew up in. Your mother wanted you to do all those things that I just named. You know, she wanted you to serve the home, take care of the home, do the chores, be perfect, get good grades, clean your room, clean up behind yourself. And she was doing that. And so she expected you to do that. And in that, you can find that, damn, like, where does she love me? Like, is she so hard on me? All she wants me to do is cook and clean and take care of and serve and take care of my little brother and take care of this and take care of that. And she wants me to be responsible, but where's the love? I don't feel the love in that. Like, where are the emotions? You could feel that from Virgo, because with Virgo, it's like, that is how she loved you. That was her love nature. That was her love style, it being very practical, keeping a roof over your head and cleaning everything and making sure that you didn't go without as far as the bare necessity need that you needed. That's what she wanted to provide. She just wanted to provide the food, the clothes, the shelter, and the practical needs. That was it. Anything else, you know, that could have that would probably vary. It would be a rare day that she would come to you and want to divulge her feelings or have you tell her what your feelings are, okay? So she was just she really wanted to embody the perfect mother, you know? And maybe along the way, she may have forgot, like, oh, wait, maybe I just need to ask my little son or daughter how they're feeling. Maybe I just need to ask them, you know, what's going on at school, rather than, are you getting good grades at school? Hey, pull up your pants, tighten up that shirt, go wash your face, do your hair. You see what I mean? So it's very much like that, all right? Now, moving forward, I really do hope that that helped you, okay? Let me know the sign and the planet that your fourth lord in the sixth house is going into, and I will write back to you what you could be experiencing specifically with your placements, all right? Now, moving forward. With the fourth lord going into the seventh house, this could make for someone who had a very pleasant relationship with their mother. Now, unless you have things like Mars or Mars or Scorpio on that seventh house, or Pluto within that fourth lord relationship, then I'd say probably not. But for the most part, any other planets that you have, you will find that you had a very good relationship with your mother, because the seventh house is ruled by Libra, okay? Libra is ruled by Venus, meaning that you probably had a very beautiful mother, a very social mother, a mother that really valued the connection that you and her had. She probably wanted to feel like your best friend, or like you guys just had a very nice, harmonious bond, okay? She probably taught you the importance of being social and having well manners when you're out, and being very well raised, okay? She probably valued beauty and valued aesthetic, and just being very harmonious and gracious was something that your mother held true to herself. Now, within the home that you grew up in, you could find that your home wasn't too nice, or it wasn't too unnice or not nice. You'll find that your home was balanced. You had a balance of, you know, things were just what you needed. You weren't too poor, you weren't too rich. Your mother wasn't too mean, she wasn't too nice. She was right in the middle of just very balanced, okay? You had a very balanced upbringing, a very balanced childhood. The home that you grew up in was a nice balance of, you know, it was a steady thing. It wasn't something that was like overly wealthy or overly this or overly that. Of course, if you were to say, hey, mom, dad, I need this, they would get it, but you knew that you couldn't push certain boundaries, if that makes sense. You couldn't go overboard. You did have a very good and balanced childhood upbringing upbringing. Some days were bad, some good moments were good. For every good came bad, for every bad came good, if that makes sense. Everything was a balance when you have the fourth lord going into the seventh house, okay? And sociability, being social, was something or a theme that you could have seen be very prevalent within your childhood home, okay? Whether your mother held very many gatherings, very many parties, or you guys were going to a lot of parties and a lot of social gatherings, this could be something that was very present within your home. Just the connection and being harmonious and being gracious and valuing fairness, beauty, and aesthetics. Your mother, again, could have been very creative, very beautiful, and you could have also come from a home that valued creativity and beauty, all right? There's a sense of that from the home that you grew up in. You probably would have people over and people would go, oh my God, your home is so nice. Like, wow, like your mother's so creative. Like, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Like, maybe the trinkets that you have around your home are just very aesthetically pleasing, okay? But yeah, that's what you could be experiencing with fourth lord in the seventh house. Let me know the sign and the planet that your fourth lord in the seventh house is in, and I will let you know what you could be experiencing with that placement. Now, in your adult life, you could find that you are somewhat the same way. You will find that you will be blessed with always having a home. You are going to be someone, because fourth lord is going into the seventh house, you could find that through your relationships, you find that you have a steady home, okay? This is the same way with your mother. Your mother probably found that through a marriage, she gained a bigger home or gained stability within her homes, okay? Or in her home life, she gained stability through a marriage or through a relationship. You know, these are the people that, like, I don't want to say can only acquire a home through a relationship or being in a relationship, but these are the people that find themselves shacking up with their partners, okay? These are the people that, you know, they're in a relationship and they find that they have gone half on an apartment with someone all the time. In all their relationships, this is how they acquire homes, okay? You are probably someone that also probably loves to roommate with people and loves roommates and things like that. And if not, just on your own, if you are someone who loves to be alone, which I probably doubt, but if you are, you could just love to have people over, okay? You could love to have dinner parties, love to have friends over, okay? You just love to be social at home, all right? You are someone that also loves a good aesthetically pleasing home, and your furniture, the way you decorate is very pleasant, okay? Like I said, things when you have anything with Libra matching to that fourth house, you will be someone where things aren't too gaudy and they aren't too poor. You will have a home that's very balanced. Like, when you come into your home, people won't say, ugh, like that's just so distasteless. Like, you have all this like very wealthy like stuff, like what message are you trying to send? And then, but also you'll have a home that when people come in, they also can't say the opposite. They can't say, oh, like, ew, his home was dirty, and like that home was like, is he broke? Like, he didn't have any furniture. It'll be right in the middle. It'll be balanced. Things won't be too broke. Things won't be too rich. It'll be right in the middle, okay? It'll be a very pleasant and comfortable home, okay? You'll probably have very artistic, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing things within your home, okay? And it'll have an air of just feeling good and comfortable, all right? Now, moving forward, I really do hope that helped you, okay? With fourth lord going into the eighth house, this is gonna be someone who probably had a very intense and maybe not pleasant relationship with their mother, okay? This could be someone who growing up, they had a lot of changes happening within their home. They had a very intense household, okay? There was a lot of, I just wanna say like danger, or just a feeling of not safe, or that your emotions you had to be on guard about, okay? You were someone that had to maybe fight for power, or fight for your space, or fight to be seen. There's just a lot of changes and a lot of maybe just intensity within your homes, all right? Your mother could have been someone that was very deep, very introspective, very powerful, and she could have probably valued psychology and, you know, the deeper meanings of life. That I've seen a lot of people have like very spiritual mothers, very like evangelical spiritual mothers that are just so intense about spirituality, or so intense about, you know, astrology or magic or this or that, that it becomes intense. You know, they take it to an extreme where it's like the relationship between you and your mother was a little strained because of that. And, you know, because of that, you may have inherited those gifts. You may have inherited those spiritual gifts by way of your mother. Your mother probably taught you the importance of believing in the universe, or astrology, or numerology, or whatever religion that you guys grew up in. But still the relationship between you and your mother was intense, and the household that you grew up in was equally intense, okay? There could have also been a lot of changes that were happening at your home. One year y'all lived here, the other year y'all lived here, next year y'all lived there, then y'all went here, y'all went there. There was just a lot of transformations within your home, okay? A lot of death probably could have happened in your home that you were dealing with as a kid. This could also signify the death of the mother. Maybe you didn't grow up with a mom when you have fourth lord in the 8th house, and maybe you were someone that maybe had to raise your siblings, or you were probably someone that was dealing with a dad instead, okay? But there's a lot, or you could still have your mom, but you all dealt with the death of someone close to you, maybe a sibling or something like that. But when you have fourth lord in the 8th house, it's gonna put a bit of a darker energy and a more transformational and introspective psychic energy around your homes, okay? There's a lot of like mystery and a lot of power within your home. You could have also still grew up in a household that was very powerful in its own right, okay? Maybe you had the biggest house on the block, but nobody could come to it. Like you were probably very secretive about your homes for whatever reason. Maybe your mother or your father didn't want you to have friends over and things like that. Even though you had the biggest home that you could have people over, your parents were just like, no, those people can't come to my home. Like things like that. Like you were probably very secretive about your home life. There was a lot of secrets within your home life, okay? Now in your now adult life, you could be someone that when you clock out of work, nobody knows where you are, okay? You are someone that probably doesn't like to put your homes on social media. You are probably someone that's very private in your private life. I've seen a lot of people with fourth lord going into the 2nd house, because the fourth lord rules your private life, what you do outside of work, all right? That don't post on social media. These are the people that when they go home, they want to be very private. They value their privacy, okay? You probably are someone that feels you're safest when others don't know what you do outside of work. You're like, those co-workers don't need to know that I have a beautiful, gorgeous life. Why do they need to know that? Like, you're probably scared to let others know exactly who you are at home or what your home life is like, because maybe you feel threatened by that. You may feel that showing off how beautiful your home is or how good you have it can threaten your position, you know, at work or whatever, right? Like it's very things like that. I've seen a lot of people that have, when they have scorpionic placements hitting their 4th house, they are very protective over their private life. They don't like to let people know where they live. They don't like to post on social media unless there are things that won't give clues to the outside world of how good they have it or even how bad they have it. So they just don't post unless they find themselves in a position or area or a situation where they can hold up the phone and it's just maybe a selfie and no one knows in the background what's going on. Like it's very that, you know? But yeah, with fourth lord in the 8th house, you could also be someone that your emotions are going to go through many transformations in this life, and your home life is also going to go through very many transformations. You probably have the most transformations when it comes to your living situation, all right? The places you live, you probably are someone that you can't, I don't want to say can't, but it's very rare that you find yourself living in the same apartment or the same home for more than 5 years, okay? If that, and I'm talking, that's a stretch, okay? More than 5 years, I'm being nice and I'm being nice, all right? So that's what you could be experiencing when you have fourth lord in the 8th house. Let me know the sign of the planet that rules your fourth lord in the 8th house, and I will let you know what you could be experiencing with that placement, okay? But I really do hope that this helped you, all right? Bye. With fourth lord going into the 9th house, this could be someone who, you know, growing up, your mother was someone who was very philosophical and somewhat spiritual, okay? They probably valued education and higher education. These are people whose mothers, I've seen a lot of people with fourth lord in the 9th house, their mothers were doctors, okay? Your mother was also probably someone that was out doing things, probably out saving the world, out healing people, out being a spiritual leader of some kind, out just away from the home. Your mother was someone who was very abundant, very busy. I've seen people with this placement who probably have the working mother that's bringing home all the bacon, you know, and that's doing the thing, but the mom is absent. You know, the mom isn't really around. Like, yes, she probably provides philosophical things to you and may have wanted you to be very educationally driven, but she's just absent. She's out doing her thing and making money and bringing in the bacon. This is also someone with fourth lord in the ninth house that shows like very much like immigrant status, okay? Someone whose home is, you will either in your adult life move far away from home, as far as like your home will never be in the place that you grew up in. As far as like the hometown, you probably find that you move far away, or the home that you grew up in is far away from your guys' original birthplace, okay? I've seen a lot of immigrants have this placement. A lot of people who were refugees have this placement, you know, where they fled a country and they came to a different country and they settled there, because fourth lord is in the ninth house. Ninth house is Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is a global sign. It's a cultural sign, meaning far away, travel. So you probably have to travel a lot to acquire your homes, okay? The further you go away from your original birthplace, the more security in your home life you will have, all right? And this is in childhood, and this is in your now present day life. If you have this placement, if I saw this placement in any of the birth charts that I was reading, I would literally get in the recording. I would say, you need to move. You just need to move. Like, you just need to go and move. The further you go away from home, the more abundant your homes will be, the more security within your home life you will have. I would really love to know the sign and the planet that your fourth lord in the ninth house is going into, and I will write back to you what you could be experiencing with that placement, okay? But this is what you could be experiencing. You could be experiencing growing up in a home that was probably away from the homes you grew up in, and your mother was probably very educational driven, and you guys probably traveled a lot. Your mother was probably a doctor or had a lot of degrees, things like that. But this is a very blessed placement, okay? So let me know those placements and I'll let you know what you could be experiencing exactly with that placement, all right? With fourth lord in the 10th house, this is gonna be a big connection between your home and your work, okay? Because the fourth lord rules your home, okay? The fourth house rules your home. The fourth house is also your private life, okay? So this could be very many combinations, and these combinations will vary and change depending on the sign, the planet, that are going into the fourth lord into the 10th house, and I'm gonna try to exhaust them as much as I can through this video. But with the fourth lord in the 10th house, know that your mother was gonna be someone who wanted to be the best, okay? Your mother wanted to be somebody that was an example for a lot of other people. Your mother was also gonna be someone that probably wanted to boost you and motivate you to be your best, especially professionally, okay? She probably wanted you to get good grades. She probably wanted you to be someone who excelled and just was the model son or daughter in the household, okay? And she was that way. She was someone that, again, was someone that wanted to just put up an image of, we are the best and I've got the best husband, and, you know, really wanted to shoot for the stars as far as being the best, because the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, okay? So with that being said, your mother is going to be ruled by Capricorn. There's going to be an air about the natures or the values or the way she related with you through that, okay? When she saw that you were doing the best that she felt you were doing, as far as like maybe driving or, you know, getting good grades or being exemplary or doing something that was moving your life towards more success, that's when she really, really was proud of you, and that's when you got all the love. And you probably also grew up in a home that was very nice. You probably grew up in a very nice, wealthy home, or a home that was just very, again, very exemplary, wherever. And this is all relative, right? Like, you could grow up in a village, but you probably grew up in the hut that had all the apples and all the fixings and all that. You see what I mean? So these things are always relative to where you are and where you grew up, but this is still the energy of the home that you grew up in, okay? So I'm not saying everyone that has fourth lord in the 10th house grew up in a mega wealthy home or had a mom that had $1 million. But I am saying that compared to the people around you, compared to the neighborhood that you grew up in, you guys had the best, okay? You guys had the most. You guys were striving to be the best. You guys were the exemplary house on the block. You guys were the house or the family that everybody wanted to be and that everyone saw striving for more, okay? That you guys were the Joneses, if that makes sense. You guys were keeping up with the Joneses or setting the example of the Joneses, okay? This is also something that your mother could have wanted to embody, is keeping up with the Joneses and being the Joneses and being that house or that home or that establishment that was the pinnacle, okay? So that is what you could be experiencing when you have fourth lord in the 10th house. Now also, in your adult life, when you have fourth lord in the 10th house, there's going to be a very big connection between your home and your work, okay? These are my people who could work from home. These are people who may need to relocate their homes by way of their job. Like every time they get into a new job, they have to move their homes because their home is a direct connection to their job, all right? For whatever reason. Again, I've seen a lot of people with fourth lord in the 10th house who, when they have one job, they had to move here. And then when they get another job, they got to move there, okay? There's a lot of relocation happening in order to acquire jobs or in order to make your jobs more functional. You could live very close to your jobs, okay? I've seen this as well, where people like, you know, have you ever met those people that they go to work and their work is right across the street, okay? Their work is like right there, okay? They don't have to go too far because their work is down the street, you see? So it's very much energy like that, where there's a big connection between your home life and your work life. These are also my people who may have their work be someone that comes into their home, okay? These are like my reality stars, right? Where the institution or the camera crew infiltrates their home and they're doing things from home, and like their home life, their private life is being put out for the public. You could find that a lot of your jobs kind of force you to use the things that you have in your private life and for you to air that laundry out, or okay, for you to give those things away or put a light on what's happening in your private life. You see, a lot of your jobs are built on that or based on that, as you allowing people into your inner world in order to get the job done. There's also a big healing modality within the home jobs you acquire, because fourth house is ruled by Cancer. No matter what the sign on your house may be, know that the original ruler of the fourth house is Cancer. So this is going to mean that a lot of your jobs are going to have a healing factor to it, okay? There's going to be a very, like, you probably going to work with a lot of moms, okay? You're going to be someone who works with I want to say women, but just more so, there's a lot of healing things that go into your job. Healing and mothers, and just, these are also my real estate agents. You know, these are my people who can be in real estate, because again, home and work is coming together. So these are a lot of themes that you can experience with this. You could also find that you have in your adult life, you will live in very nice, wealthy homes. You will live in the best home of the area that you're around, relative to the people where you are around, whether you choose to live in Africa, where it's just hut, or you choose to live in New York City, you will have the best hut, or you will live in the best area in New York City. You will find that you take on a Capricornian energy to the homes that you acquire, okay? There's a cream of the crop type of energy when it comes to the homes that you live in, or even the things you have inside of your home. You're gonna want to acquire the best. You're gonna want to have things of quality, of some type of monetary value, or just something that people can aspire to, okay? It's gonna be very aspirational, the places that you live in. Like, wow, you live here? Like, and you're always gonna have people that go like, wow, you're so lucky. Like, I wish I could live here. Like, it's gonna be very aspirational. You see what I mean? So, and that is the flair, and that's the air of how you grew up, is that people were always aspiring to be how your family was, or have the things that your family had, because that's fourth lord going into the 10th house. You see, your private life, your home was thrust into the public, where people aspire for that. They go, wow, like, y'all got all those cars in the driveway. Like, wow, your home is so gorgeous. Like, you guys have the best home on the block. Like, wow. You see? So that's what it's going to be. Let me know what the sign and the planet is in your 10th house, the fourth lord going to the 10th house, and I'll let you know exactly what you could be experiencing, all right? But yeah, that is exactly what you could be experiencing with this placement. I really do hope that helped you, all right? Bye. With fourth lord in the 11th house, this is going to make for a mother who was probably absent from the household, okay? And if they weren't absent, the mother was just focused on other things. Her mind was probably elsewhere, and she was probably very like unemotional with you, all right? Because her mind was on other things, or she was just out of the household, not present, okay? I see a lot of people when they have fourth lord in the 11th house, their mother was someone who's probably focused on her career, focused on her friends, focused on just being out and doing her own thing. There was a lot of distance and a lot of detachment from the mother, okay? There's a detached quality from you and the vibes towards your mother for whatever reason, okay? It could be a conglomerate of reasons, but the relationship is at a distance, okay? Because the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, all right? And Aquarius, we all know our Aquariuses are a little detached, right? They're emotionally unavailable. Your mother was someone who's probably very emotionally unavailable. I've also seen with fourth lord going into the 11th house that your mother could have been very scientifically driven, or someone who was very like, had very, I don't want to say kooky, I don't want to say quirky, but just very different ideals. She had very different vibes about her, okay? Whether it be her appearance or who she was someone that was doing things against the fray. She was someone that wasn't following the status quo of what a mom is supposed to be, okay? Or how people are supposed to think. She was going to take on that flair of just like owning her uniqueness and probably having very different ideals about herself, different ways of thinking and being, all right? With fourth lord in the 11th house, you could find in your private life that you are also someone that's kind of detached from your home as well. You are probably someone that loves to be out. You love to be social. You probably don't like to be at home for too long, too often. You love to get out and be social and just do things away from home, you know? Your home to you is just somewhere you go. It's a function for you. You know how some people really attach themselves to their homes, you know, they want to go home, they want to take a bubble bath, they want to cuddle up on their pillows and just really want to sow their seeds at home. For you, there's a detached vibe from home. You're like, home is a function. There's a bed, I'm gonna go to sleep, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go out. Like I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do a chore. Like you would rather just be out. You don't like to be at home too long, too often. You find there's just more to do. There's more productive things to do than to be at home. I've seen a lot of people with displacement who love to just go on walks. You know, they love to just be out. They can't be at home in silence like that for too long because it reminds them of their childhood, you know? It does. It reminds them of the flavor of being left alone when they were kids. And so in their adult life, they kind of run away from that feeling. They want to be out. They want to be social. They want to go hang out with their friends. They want to be at work. They want to be at the gym. They want to go for walks. They want to go walk the dog. They just want to, they're detached from their home, okay? They're detached from that feeling. These are also my people who could be a little bit detached from their emotions as well, because Cancer rules the 4th house, and this is kind of like moon energy, your emotions, your emotional center. And so you could be a little somewhat not emotionally in touch with your feelings. You do know that you probably feel better when you are with your friends. Your friends probably feel like home to you, okay? The networks, the organizations that you align yourself with, you probably find that you find your family through the organization or the corporations and the networks that you have. Those people feel like family. Those people feel like safety to you. You know, you being out and about, that's where you find your emotional center. But when you come home, it's like, you're like ticking down the hours before you can get up and go out and leave and do something else, okay? So isn't it funny how, if you think about it, like that trend from your mother, right, of her not being at home, she indirectly kind of passed that down to you, where it's like, because she wasn't at home, now you feel by the kind of a negative result of that, that now you don't feel comfortable at home either. Like you're like, I'm gonna just get up and go out. I'm gonna go see some friends. I'm gonna go busy myself, you know, because you don't want to be reminded of being left alone at home, or that detachment from your home. You don't really want to deal with those feelings. But that's what you could be experiencing with that as well, okay? You could probably find that you have a big dream for your home or your home life in the future. You could probably always be envisioning where you want to live in the future, and these things will come, these things will materialize, and your home life will get better in the future, because Aquarius is, and the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, and this house rules your dreams and your wishes. So you could be someone that aspires or wishes for a better home life in some capacity, and you will get that better home life later on in life, because again, this house is the house of future dreams and wishes, okay? So whatever you are dreaming out, you could be dreaming about a very harmonious relationship within your home. You could be dreaming about a more secure, stable environment at home. You could be dreaming about just like maybe you could be dreaming about relocating to a faraway land later in your life, and these things will probably come to fruition for you, okay? But yeah, I really do hope that helped you. Let me know the sign of the planet that your 4th lord in the 11th house is going into, and I will let you know what you could be experiencing. But I really do hope that this helped you, okay? Bye. With 4th lord going into the 12th house, this is gonna make for someone who probably grew up in a very spiritual household, okay? You were probably someone that grew up in a household that your mother was probably very spiritual. Your mother probably wanted to make you spiritual, or also be somebody that you know, cultivated spirituality or your creativity, okay? You could have been someone that your mother was very religious or very creative, maybe wanted you to be in the choir, maybe wanted you to preach, maybe wanted you to study your hymns and your songs and your verses and things like that. Like, your mother was someone, you probably grew up in a very spiritual household, okay, or a very mystical household, okay? I've also seen people with this placement who have like very mystical mothers. Their mother was a psychic. Their mother had a psychic shop that they grew up in. You know, they grew up and their mother was doing readings in the other room. Things like that. Like, you'll find that is the flavor of your mother. This could also make for a mom who gave you a lot of freedom to a certain extent, okay? You probably had a lot of freedom growing up to the point where you could, like, you were being given a lot of freedom to cultivate your spirituality and your unique creativities within yourself. There's a lot of isolation within this placement, okay? So you could probably lived in homes that were very secluded or very isolated for some reason. Your mother was also someone that probably was very isolated or very removed from the home in some instances. I've also seen people who live far away from their original birthplace with this home, okay? Whether you in your adult life, you end up moving far away from your original birthplace, or the home you grew up in as a child is away from your guys' original home place. Like, this is very like refugees or immigrants or people who fled a country and came to another country, or simply they just came to the country for a better way of living or a better life, okay? And they could have, in that home, been spiritual. Your mother could have been a spiritual force within your home. But yeah, this is what you could be experiencing with the 4th lord in the 12th house, okay? There could also be energy of losing the family home, losing your homes, okay? Because remember, like I said, if you're an immigrant, right, you lost your home. You lost the home or the homeland that you grew up in, and so you had to move. And there could be a lot of things of that in your life, okay, where you lose your home and you got to go somewhere else. You lost this, and so you got to go. You lost the home. A lot of loss within home is present here, okay? And I don't want to make anyone fearful. Please do take what I say as a grain of salt, because all things don't apply to all people, okay? But I do want to be able to, for those that are experiencing it, understand why they are experiencing it, right? For those that it does resonate with and that it is happening in their lives, I want to be able to give that information out so that everyone can get something out of these videos, all right? I don't want to really bite my tongue too much, because there could be people out there who are experiencing those types of things and not finding the information because YouTubers on the channel don't really want to spread bad information. But let's not see it like that. Let's see it as this is education. You know, if we shield ourselves from the bad, we don't really open our eyes to what this house is and what these things are and find answers and find meaning in it, okay? But moving on from that, you did grow up in a very spiritual home. You probably had a very spiritual mother. Your mother probably gave you a lot of freedom. Your mother probably had a very mystical or religious touch to her personality, or was just very simply creative and somewhat removed from the home she was, or very absent. There was probably a confusing relationship with her sometimes. Like, sometimes you just don't get where she's coming from. And I've seen a lot of people be immigrants or refugees with this placement, or you in your adult life, when you grow up, you will be someone that moves away. In your adult life, you are also going to be someone that within your home, you are going to want to have either spiritual or creative things within your home. You could heal people from your home. You could be offering a spiritual service from your home. You could be someone that is, you could just be someone that is very spiritual at home and probably carries on that tradition of being someone spiritual or having a spiritual home, all right, or being far away from home, all right. But I really do hope that that helped you, all right. Let me know those placements and I will let you know what you could be experiencing, all right. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.